In Little Big Planet, it is polite to express an interest in your fellow sack persons, or at least act as though you care. By using the directional buttons, you can display a whole range of emotions to show you're listening, even though you're thinking about what to have for tea. If it's good news, press up to show you're happy. Alternatively, press down to give yourself an air of glumness. Or if you hear news that terrifies you, press the left button. Or if you've been wronged in any way, press the right button to pull a face that's as tough as old boots. Tilting the PlayStation Vita system adds emphatic head movements to any conversation. Not too much, you'll get a crick in your neck. Lastly, if you hold down the L button, the left and right sticks control your arms. Way! It's called acting, not just acting up, but left, right and down too. Moving pictures aren't the same without moving cameras. In Little Big Planet, you can string several cameras together to make one epic shot. OK, dig out the movie camera from the cameras section of the tools bag. First of all, you'll want to place a few of them. Then use the pop-it cursor to connect the output of one camera to the input of the next. Now, tweaks are the order of the day here. Tweak the angle and zoom to set up your shots. Tweaking the hold time of a movie camera sets how long it will wait in that camera position. The transition time is how long it takes to move from the previous camera position into this one. What's a transition, I hear you ask? Well, this is how it changes from one camera to the next. Some experimental faffing really pays dividends here, so let's leave it as a soft pan for now. By pressing the R button, you can flit to the next camera and the L button to jump back. It's easier than it sounds. OK, time to roll cameras, Sackboy. What is this, by the way? An action, sci-fi, monster, time travel epic? Oh, yes, sorry. Genius director at work. Now, what's this I'm hearing? Your fugitive friend's gone into hiding? Oh, wait, I think I can find him. Open Pop-It and choose the amazing Pop-It cursor. Put it over the vase with the left stick and press the L button to hide it. Gotcha! See him? We've hidden the vase. Now you can select Frank right through solid objects. Just tap right on him with that fantastic index finger of yours, then drag him to one side. Here's a factoid to cherish. If you hold down the L button, everything you've hidden will be unhidden all at once. I'm no relationship counsellor, but perhaps your monster is lonely. You could clone him, you know. Select him by tapping him, then tap the copy button. The copy is created as a stamp, and you can place down as many as you like. press back when you're done with the stamp, and there. Now he's got a clique of his own. You can select them all at once by pressing and holding the Action button while you box select across them with the left stick. You can also use the lasso select abilities of the touchscreen to select all of your monsters in one go. Touch and hold your finger on the touchscreen and simply draw a loop around your menagerie of monsters. Alternatively, with a bit of manual dexterity, you can select one at a time. Just hold down the R button and tap each monster to add it to your selection. Release the R button and now you can move and resize them all at the same time. There. Your monsters can now happily plot the destruction of LittleBigPlanet together. Oh. Sackboy is boiling me an egg. Let's hope he doesn't follow the instructions I gave him too literally this time. When I said, stand in boiling water for 3 minutes, I had to stop him climbing into the pan. In fact, you and safety are rarely on the same page, so we'll set up a few fail-safe devices, shall we? Dive into the Advanced Logic section of your Gadgets page and get a counter. This counts up every time the input gets triggered. Connect up that first button to the Input tab. Activating the button will get the counter going. There's also a Reset tab, which will return the count to 0. So put the second button on that. And, of course, connect the output to our Danger Tweaker. Tweak the counter to set the number it counts up to before it is activated. Jump on that button to turn the heat up. I'm getting the rumble tums and I'd like that egg sooner rather than later. Excellent. Remember, I like my eggs boiled to perfection, so we should set a timer. Get a timer from the Advanced Logic section of your Gadgets page. Connect up that first button to the Input tab and the second button to the Reset tab. Then connect the output to the Danger Tweaker. Tweaking the timer is strongly advisable so you can set how long it lasts. There's lots of options for input action which change how the timer works. Let's choose on-off for now. But do try them all. They're fab. Well, our boiled egg should be done to perfection the millisecond I finish this sentence. Oh, that doesn't look good. You didn't put the egg in? Looks like it's burned water for breakfast again. Ha! There you are. Dishing out some tasty vibes on your new sack decks, eh? Your light show isn't quite as disco as it could be, though, you know. Plonk down a randomizer from the Advanced Logic section. We'll use this to make your lights flash in groovy and unpredictable patterns. connect its outputs up to all of your lights. In Tweak, you can set different lighting patterns according to current trends. Back in the 60s, one at a time was all we had. These days, you can toggle all night long. Tweak those on and off times to match your mad skills, or even your quite sensible ones. Wow, that's heaps better, but let's keep it off until somebody arrives. Connect a button to the input and the randomizer will stay off until you press the button. Notice that the randomizer's tweak menu has an invert output option. Jumping on the button now will make the randomizer do the opposite of whatever it was just doing. But, Sackboy, where's the music? What happened to all your records? You swapped them for the lights. Yes, that makes sense. Good grief. My young sack chum has created a hypnotism device. We're just trying to work out if we can get the dashed thing working. You could control it with a direction splitter, which can be found in the advanced logic section in Gadgets. A direction splitter splits the signal into positive and negative signals. Connect that three-way switch to the input and the outputs to the two motor bolts. Excellent. Now you have total control over your hypnotic devices, which makes them more powerful, probably. However, for uber control, you can have one motor rotate both ways with a direction combiner. It's also in the advanced logic section and takes two inputs and converts them into one. Connect buttons to each of the inputs, like so, and connect the output to the motor bolt. And when you tweak the motor action to forwards-backwards, well, it is quite hypnotic, isn't it? Making me quite giddy. Might need to sit down. No, I need to stand up. Phew, that was weird. I'd have gone and jumped in the river if you'd told me to there. It works, Sackboy. Sackboy? Sackboy? Every evening, Sackboy crosses the dark and dangerous bridge to get to his sack chum's house. And it turns his wool grey with fear. So he's putting some lights and other malarkey up in preparation for this evening. First thing is to find a toggle in the advanced logic page in your tools bag. Toggles send a constant signal that is either on or off. Each time a new signal is received, the toggle will switch on to off or off to on. Connect a button to the toggle's input and a light to its output. Fabbo! Now when you step on dark and dangerous bridge tonight, you'll be all lit up and safe. Now remember, you don't want to be putting too many lights in your scene, or things might start going all flickery and weird. And besides, LittleBigPlanet is a verdant dreamscape, not a crass nightclub. For further nocturnal safety, you could make use of the super-useful selector, also to be found in the Advanced Logic Shed. Connect these 3 buttons to the selector's inputs and the outputs to your bridge lights. A selector will only ever have one, that's one, count it, one output on at a time. This way you can turn the lights on as you cross the bridge without illuminating the lot and save the Imagisphere some energy to boot. Clean and green. So tonight, crossing dark and dangerous bridge to your Sackchumbly's house, you'll be totally safe. And I'll be with you all the way because I'm your Sackchumbly too. You're on your own. To be a master materialist, there are a few new tricks you need to learn. Open your poppet by tapping the poppet button and bring forth your goodies bag. We are going to choose a star shape. Now it's tool time. Touch and hold this button, then slide up to the top. See? It says stamp. Let go of your finger on top of it, and let's find out what it does. The stamp tool will place exactly one block of the shape you choose. None of that artful smearing, just pixel-perfect precision. Tap it down decisively. Stamping it into another material will create a perfect cutout. And both shapes will be glued together. Open your slidey set of tools again, and this time choose the eraser. The eraser deletes all craft material as you drag it across the screen, a sort of anti-paintbrush. Go back again for the hole punch. This also deletes material, but only one hole exactly where you tap. When you feel ready, press the back button a few times to get out of Poppet. Get the Poppet cursor, then tap the tree to select it. Now let's tweak the tree. Press the menu button or tap the tweak button and the tweak menu appears. Tweak menus let you tinker with the properties of almost anything on LittleBigPlanet. Tap here for the first tweak setting. This setting is called Physics Properties. If you set this to static, the tree will not move, no matter what happens to it. Yes. Set it to dynamic, and it can be moved and manipulated by other things. Think of your scene like a machine. There's no sense putting a motor in something that's never going to move, is there? All of your energy should be saved for the most important parts. So, if you make all of the things that don't really need to move into static objects, your beautiful somewheres will run as smooth as clockwork. Clever stuff, eh? So, get crafting. Sackboy, if you read a book, you don't start on the last page. Oh, well, you do you? Well, oh, that's adorable. On LittleBigPlanet, however, you can ensure players progress through your levels in order with a menu level. Each time they finish a level, the next level will be unlocked. OK, we're going to need a memorizer, so go wrest that awesome gadget from your tools bag. Place it there and let's tweak a couple of things. 3 input ports will do nicely. And give it a label. How about carrot underscore carrot? That's catchy. So over here we have 3 score sensors set up for bronze, silver and gold score values. Connect the score sensors to the inputs of the memorizer. Then wire up that two-way switch so it triggers the memorizer and activates the level link. Great! This will go at the end of a level. Pulling the switch finishes the level and the player's score is saved in the memorizer. But where does the level link take us? We're going where the magic happens, the menu level. In the menu level, place another memorizer. Once again, 3 input ports will do us proud. And the label, let's give it the same rolls-off-the-tongue label as the last one. Here's the mind-shakingly awesome bit. Memorizers with the same label will all contain the very same data even when they're on completely different levels. How? Science. Connect the first output of the memorizer to the sticker panel with the bronze star on it. And do likewise and similarly for silver and gold. The score stars in the menu level will be triggered if the player gets enough points to trigger the score sensors in the actual level. Ingenious, isn't it? The final task is setting up the link into the next scene. It's activated by a touch sensor, but that sticker panel is blocking the sensor. You see where we're going with this? The level link is effectively locked until the sticker panel is deactivated. So, connect the first output of the memorizer to a NOT gate, then from there to the sticker panel. And our menu is complete. When the first level is completed, the memorizer will be triggered and unlock the next level link. It's guaranteed to stop naughty sack personages skipping to the next level. And yes, I am looking at you. Oh dear, Sackboy. When you said you got motion sick, and I said you should travel on foot, this wasn't quite what I meant. We can get it going with an advanced mover on the Gadgets page. It is the most efficient mode of quad-dimensional propulsion. Remember to tweak the speed and acceleration, jogging speed or plodding. The advanced mover has 3 inputs. This one is for up and down. This one is for left and right. And the last one is for on and off. And let's get this foot off the ground. Oh, wow! You can really put your foot down. No, I mean it. Put your foot down, please, now. There are other movers too, you know. The in-out mover, for example, lets you move things between layers. In the Tweak menu, Allow Pushing will let your foot shove obstacles out of the way up to the specified maximum push weight, which is measured in numbers of sack persons. The input action gives all sorts of options of how your foot moves in and out. Dare I say it, have a faff. So, connect that switch to the in-out mover, and I'll tell you a useful shortcut. You can disconnect the wire from the advanced mover by pressing the action button on it, then move it down and connect it to the in-out mover's input. Ready for a test drive? Mirror, signal, manicure. Off you go, then. Best foot forward. Still trying to get a laugh with that criminally misnamed funny bunny? If we add a player sensor, it might raise a smile. In the Tools Bag's Gadgets page, seek out a player sensor, which is triggered when a player is nearby. Position it near the rabbit, then connect its output to the light bulb. Tweak the detection range, that might help. There are settings for the minimum range and the maximum range. You decide how close a player should be before triggering Funny Bunny. You can also limit the trigger angle so the player must be in a particular direction of the sensor. Setting same layer means the player must be in the same layer as the sensor to activate it. OK, how funny is Bunny now? In one word, not very. Tag sensors are available too. Now, these are all kinds of clever. They get triggered when there's a tag nearby with the same colour. place the tag sensor and tweak it to set the colour and also the trigger range. You can set an infinite range, meaning it will be triggered if the right tag exists anywhere in your level. Now get a tag from the tools bag and place it on that grabbable carrot. Tweak that tag and set its colour to the same as the tag sensor. When the tag enters the tag sensor's radius, the tag sensor activates. Do you think Funny Bunny is going to give you value for your money? No. So, the store you bought him from, do they offer refunds by any chance? You stuffed it. Hey, it finally got a laugh. Spiders are sensitive beasts. The merest slight, and they'll get all up in your face, and no mistaking. I'll show you just how touchy he is with an impact sensor. They're in the sensors section of your tools bag. The impact sensor will be activated when something knocks into him. He's even set off when he brushes against the floor. No wonder he hangs around like that all day. Now, there's a couple of important tweaks. Include rigid connections means anything glued or embedded on our leggy foe will also be sensitive. Include adjacent layers means it's triggered by things sliding past it on the next layer. Go on. You're more frightened of him than he is of you. Oh, or is that the other way round? Oh, well, never mind. If you really enjoy enraging arachnids, put a sticker sensor on them. Tweak the sensor and choose a trigger sticker. Something terrifying, the stuff of nightmares. Or a cuddly-wuddly bunny rabbit is fine too. When the chosen sticker is within range, the sensor will go, and you can stick it down to trigger the sensor. He's gone again. What a scaredy cat. I mean, spider. Water sensors detect water. Need I say more? Apparently not. Bouncy Spidey. Just look at him go. A score sensor detects when a player has gained a certain score, perhaps releasing some kind of reward for high achievers. Have you anything in mind, Sackboy? Something priceless, perhaps? Gold and gemstones? Exotic silks? Or socks? With your face on. A game ender will teleport every player to the scoreboard, if there is one. But remember, a game ender only works in play mode. Marvellous. Some people say, it's not the winning, it's the taking part. Well, some other people say, what's the point without points? And that's why we put score givers into our scenes. They're in the World Tweakers section of your poppet. Place a score giver in a tricky part of your level where you'd like the player to get a special award. Tweak it to set how many points you consider them worthy of. Or you can reward only the one lucky Sacky who triggered the score giver in the first place. You're not supposed to take them for yourself. Mrs. Henrietta Dawlish Cluckhampton, LittleBigPlanet's #1 socialite chicken, is often a little too tired to lay her eggs before dawn. One of those newfangled touch sensors will help wake her up. A touch sensor detects any touch gesture on the touch screen. Choose which gesture in the tweak menu and also its detection range. Connect the output of the touch sensor to the emitter. Tap, cluck, drop. That's what I call service. Now we have a secondary egg problem to crack, getting these not at all touchable pre-chiclets into the basket. The touch tweaker, methinks. It's in the tools bag under Object Tweakers. It makes objects you can't ordinarily touch into touchable ones. Astounding technology, isn't it? Direct touch means you must start touching on the object itself. Reckless gesturing will not be tolerated. So starting here will do nothing. But try like this and... Now you can pop that egg into the basket. Isn't that just Jim Dandy? This feature is ideal as it only makes what you want movable. Excellent. Right, I can't stand around gossiping. Eggs don't scramble themselves. Caught up in all this carnival furore, Sackboy is building a prize-giving spin and win wheel. If you illuminate the light, you get a shiny gold coin. Look, he's got hundreds to give away. In the tools bag, in the sensors bucket, you will find an angle sensor. The angle sensor is activated by turning it until it's pointing in the right direction. Set the trigger angle so it's nicely lined up with the design of our wheel. OK, connect the output from the angle sensor to the emitter and the light. Nicely done. OK, Sackboy, give it a spin. The odds are considerably in favour of the punter here. How about you only win if the wheel's spinning really fast, so only, heck, I don't know, a gym spider with one gargantuan powerful arm is strong enough to spin it and win the star prize? I know, a silly analogy, but the chances of something like that coming along would make the laws of probability bend backwards. Get a rotation sensor. This is like a speed sensor for things which spin. You can set it to detect clockwise or anti-clockwise, or in both directions. Now put its rotation speed way up. We don't want those saps stealing all our gold coins. It'll need to go uber fast to trigger our emitter. Oh, here comes our first chump. I mean customer. Oh, no! It's a gym spider with one gargantuan powerful arm. What are the odds against that? I love nothing more than not going on theme park rides. I'm quite happy watching, thank you. Call it Schadenfreude, if you can. Amongst your gadgets, you'll find the game camera. Here, the tweak pickings are rich. For starters, let's change the angle and zoom. Find a camera angle you're happy with by using the left and right sticks. For all your zooming needs, hold the L button and press up or down on the right stick. The trigger zone sets the area where a player activates the camera. Player tracking sets how much you want the camera to follow the player's movement, a lot or not at all. Local space makes the camera twist and turn along with the object. And your stomach. The snapshot camera is like those roller coaster cameras which capture the sheer joy of being hurled down an artificial ravine in a plywood trolley. The cool thing is, this one has a countdown timer, so you can stage your spontaneous picks. The ride's about to end. Let's see that happy smile. All your photos go straight to your My Pictures page, so you can enjoy them whenever you please. Ah, yes, that'll look good on the mantelpiece. Well, Sackboy, where's this ghost you promised me? Oh, my word! There it is! There must be a logical explanation for this. Lights! Ah, as I expected. That's not how you use logic gates. Let me show you how. The simple logic gates are in your Gadgets page. Let's start with the AND gate. Place it in your scene and connect a two-way switch to each of the inputs by dragging out their output tabs. Oh, and the output of the AND gate goes up to that creepy-looking chandelier. With an AND gate, you need both switches on before the light comes on. Well done, Sackboy. Let's give him a big and. No? And? No. Oh, all right, then. Now, let's replace it with an OR gate. Go ahead, slap it right on top, and the AND gate will be replaced immediately. Now, with an OR gate, you need at least one of the switches on. you can tweak the OR gate to change how many inputs it has. See, even with 2 or more active inputs, it's still on. Well, this might not be what you expected. To solve this logical fumble, there is the XOR gate. The XOR gate only goes on when one and only one of the switches is on. There's nothing confusing about that. Here's something else even more interesting. Not. No, I'm not being sarcastic. I mean the NOT gate. This reverses whatever the input signal is. On goes to off goes to on, and, well, that's it. Nothing supernatural about that. All perfectly rational. Whoa! Good heavens! Sackboy! Sackboy? Sackboy! Witness Sackboy's studious concentration. Hey, Sackboy? Sackboy? Daydreaming. Typical. Time you started creating. Remember all the craft materials you collected from those prize bubbles? They're stored in the goodies bag inside your poppet. To get there, tap the poppet button, then tap the goodies bag icon. The materials page is a repository for all the materials you've collected in your journeying. Tap on one and we'll create something. Next, choose a shape. That triangular one takes my fancy. Select that. Now let's do some finger painting. To make a bigger splash, use a bigger brush. Pressing up on the right stick will change its size from perfectly pointillist to epically expressionist. The flip button will change your brush shape to its mirror image. Drag your finger across the touchscreen and you've got an instant work of art. Open your poppet again, find a material you like, and let's talk about layers. Hold the L button and drag the middle of the layer slider up and down, and you'll see the brush move in and out of the layers. Holding the L button and dragging the bottom edge of the layer slider will change your brush from uber chunky to ultra thin. See how thin layers will slide between thick layers. That's a skill right there. They say material things don't bring you happiness. They obviously haven't played LittleBigPlanet. The average human brain can only remember 7 things at once. That's 6 better than the average sack brain, of course. But that's why sack people invented memorizers, which save valuable information in a handy poppet-sized container. Go get one from the advanced logic bit of your tools bag. A memorizer can have up to a gazillion of inputs and outputs, but for now we just want 3. Connect up the tag sensors to each input. We're going to transfer the position of each of these pistons over to the other set of pistons over here. So connect those up too. Now, it's essential all the pistons are set to positional. This permits a signal that isn't just on or off, but any value in between. Half on, for example, or half off, if you're a glass half-airy type of person. Now, just attach that button to the trigger input of the memorizer then we're done. Each time Sackboy hits the button, the positions of the pistons on the left are saved in the memorizer and relayed to the pistons on the right. Even if the first pistons keep moving, the memorizer keeps the values when you last triggered it. Want to hear something exciting? If you add a label, the memorizer can share values with other memorizers of the same label. But what's more, the memorizer will remember the values, even when you leave the level and come back. Imagine the possibilities. Perhaps a diary assistant who could help me remember my appointment with thingy at the what's-it-place. Oh, dear, you see what I mean? Oh, hello. I'm just testing Sackboy for his armchair driver's license. He's doing amazingly badly. Look, let's move on to basic armchair maintenance. Show me how to fit basic movers to your chair. Good. You've gone to your Poppets Gadgets page. You've found a basic mover and placed it on said chair, the object. So the armchair is now under the control of the basic mover. Excellent. In Tweaks, set the speed settings. Very good. Anything else? Aha, good. Local space means that as the object is tilted and turned, the mover will happily accept those tilts and turns and move along every new angle the object gets. The mover's acceleration and deceleration affects how quickly it reaches its desired speed. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Carry on. Now show me the follower. This will make the armchair follow you, thus negating the need for parking tickets. Excellent. You're really redeeming yourself now, Sackboy. You'll have the armchair driver's license pretty soon, methinks. Is there anything else? What's this? Oh, yes, very good. Setting in and out movement to yes makes the silly thing follow you from layer to layer. And you know your way around the minimum and maximum ranges, too. This is marvellous stuff. The follow touch setting is good too, you know. Turn this on and your object will follow your fingers' every movement across the touch screen. Good. OK, show me how you'd fit a thruster, and I'll get you your pass certificate and licence in the post pronto. Attach that thruster to the chair. Like it? Yes? And tweak its acceleration up to, what, 100%? OK, go for it. Now that's not so impressive. That's a fail, I'm afraid. In so many ways. Sackboy, are you looking for love? Don't fret, old chum. Love always comes around, especially when you have a rotator. OK, pop open your poppet and find rotators in the tools bag. A basic rotator will turn this situation around. Stick it on that road sign and let's see if it can show the way to your heart. Yes, that's right. Love is everywhere. But you must learn to love yourself before others will love you. The look-at rotator makes objects turn towards you. But you can also tweak the follow touch setting to make it focus your love wherever you point on the touch screen. Such wisdom for such an adorable package. But of course it's easy to lose your way. A gyroscope keeps you pointed at a fixed angle, no matter what happens. Then there's the rocket rotator. This is your faithful companion on love's winding road. Whatever fate's twists and turns, it will always point in the direction it's going. See, love isn't far away. I'm sure of it. Who could resist that winning smile? So, is this the evil eye hypnotizer device you've told me about? Does it work? Well, that's because you haven't bolted on the pupil of evil. The puvil, if you like. Shall we do it now? Move the puvil into place with the cursor. Then go to the tools bag, where you'll find a collection of connectors. Choose a bolt. Yes, that's it, and position it over the two things you want to connect. Pressing the Action button puts it through both layers at once. Fire up the Tweak menu and let's have a closer look. Use left and right sticks or the touch slider to change its tightness. Too tight and it won't turn. More hypno-tiring than hypnotizing. Remove that run-of-the-mill ordinary bolt by selecting it and pressing Delete. Now attach a state-of-the-mill motor bolt. State-of-the-mill? Oh, start of the art. Start of the runs? Oh, anyway, there is a phrase. Tweaking a motor bolt lets you change its strength, speed, and the direction it turns. What could be simpler? You okay, Sackboy? You haven't fallen foul of your own evil eye hypnotizer device, have you? Sackboy? Sackboy? Every contemporary urban garden needs a gnome, but this gnome keeps time. And sage, marjoram, basil, coriander. I'm sorry. We're going to bolt him in place with a spring bolt. But this time we'll attach the bolt to him first. Pick up his gnomeness, and when you press the action button to place him down again, listen carefully and... Incredibly, the spring bolt is also automatically connected, just like every other bolt. You can tweak a spring bolt's strength and its resting angle. It works! Removing a bolt is as easy as pie. Just select the bolt and hit delete. There's one more bolt to try. That's the wobble bolt, which perfectly and precisely wobbles from side to side. OK, with wobble bolts, you can set the range, the angle, which is the midpoint of the wobble, and strength of each wobble. Time is how long it takes for a single stroke, and pause sets how long it waits. There's also a sync setting which ensures multiple wobbling objects stay in time with each other. That's quite hypnotic, actually. It's kind of relaxing. It's sending me... When Sergeant Sackhop says jump, you say how high, because a bounce pad lets you jump very high indeed. Open the level kits in your tools bag. You can tweak the bounce pad to fling you the exact height of this topographical encumbrance. Simply tap the tweak button to open the tweak menu, or use the menu button if you prefer. The sergeant looks like a number 3 setting. Try that. Fabulous. Now that's enough. Remember, you've just eaten. Honestly, the world of technology never fails to flabbermygast. This uber-duper cool thing lets you take photos of anything using your camera and place it right into LittleBigPlanet. Open your Pop-It by pressing the menu button. Then tap the Stickers and Decorations icon and find the Take a Photo icon. That's it. Then press the R button when you're ready to take a snap. You got it! Now you can stick your picture anywhere in your scene. Use the back button to go back to your poppet and select the most peerless pic. And ta-da! Just perfect for adding that personal touch to your creations. So, don't delay. Get snap-happy right away. Hey, you! Are you seriously going to launch that poor teddy bear into space? That's cruel. Well, he's not going to get far without a Controlinator. Leading scientists have created the Controlinator, bringing total power over your creations directly from the PlayStation Vita system. Press the R button over the Controlinator and behold, your very own virtual PlayStation Vita system. Every functioning knob, bell and whistle on it is linked via the Imagisphere to the same button on your solid counterpart. Imagine that! Rocket science is no longer rocket science. It's easy with an advanced mover and an advanced rotator attached to your craft. Add the logic to the Controlinator's circuit board to keep it neat and tidy. That's not all. We're throwing in control of both your sticks. Yes, left and right. With your cursor, connect the left stick outputs to that advanced mover. This'll make up, down, left and right a doddle. Do the same with the right stick. Attach it to the advanced rotator and your control is doubled. Teddy's in for the ride of his life. Jump into the control seat, Sackboy, and let her rip. Teddy, you have a problem. In Create mode, just tap the emergency Controlinator exit button to leave the Controlinator at any time. The Controlinator for when you absolutely positively need total control of your creations. Only available in LittleBigPlanet. Has your teddy bear just returned from space a snarling monster hell-bent on revenge due to cosmic radiation? It happens. What you need is more control from your Controlinator. Using the tweak facility, it can control the raging energies of any fierce creature, even PE teachers. Automatically enter means once you're inside the trigger radius, you can ride that beast like a jet ski, show him who's boss. If set to no, you simply press the triangle button to get on board. Why not try our new side-mounted option too? It's free! And right now, we have our amazing Control One, Control Another free offer. Yes, the remote control option lets you control one Controlinator with another. Tweak one to be transmitter and the other to be the receiver. Come early and benefit from our closest player facility. The nearest player qualifies automatically. There's so much more you can do with the new improved Controlinator. Did I mention tilt? Yes, feather-sensitive tilt detection is built right into every Controlinator. Available now from LittleBigPlanet's Gadgets and Whatnots. compatible with the very latest Sackbot technology. Just pop a receiver Controlinator on their microchip and that bot is yours to control. Controlinator. It's 100% safe. Legal disclaimer, it's not 100% safe. Now, Peter here is a punk. He's a hardcore sort of chap, so imagine his displeasure when he woke up one morning to find his spikes had gone flat. Why don't you help him out with the corner editing tool? It's located in the tools bag. Press the action button on Peter's pink hairdo. Pressing the action button again will add a corner anywhere along the line. Use the left stick to drag out a spike. Oh, that's a big spike if ever I saw one. The touch controls work here too. Tap the edge to add a corner and then drag it where you want. Even better, using a lasso select, you can pick multiple corners with a single gesture, then watch them flock after your finger like starlings. That's the way. I can feel his grandmother's look of disdain already. What? Too much, you reckon? Not a prob. Just press the delete button to remove any corners you regret. Finally, tap anywhere outside his hair to deselect it, or use back to go back to pop it. I'd ask you to do my hair, but sadly, my punk days ended in 1981. Sackboy's not afraid of scary old inchy-winchy spider because he has a Creatinator. With the Creatinator, the power really does go to your head. It's waiting for you in the Powerups section of the Gameplay Kits page. It's not just a fancy hat, it will launch projectiles, like water, fire, and plasma, which are ever so handy in subtle negotiation situations. You can also choose any of your objects, too. Just hit up the My Objects page. We'll stick with fire for now. You can tweak how much ammo your Creatinator carries and how accurately it will fire it, too. Aim with the right stick and shoot with the R button. And fire! You're taking it very literally there, Sackboy. Sackboy, have you heard about the shoot at touch option yet? Set it to on and directly tell your fiery projectiles where to go. Do I smell a barbecue spider, Sackboy? In the Gadgets page, you'll note a projectile sensor. Place it down, then go ahead and tweak it. Count determines how many times it needs to be hit before it is activated. Rigid connections makes attached objects part of the target too, like the spider's legs, for example. If you connect the output of the sensor to that winch, it will trigger it once you've bombarded it enough times. Now mash that touchscreen. He's legged it, all 8 of them. Sackboy won't waste anything. He's brilliant like that. We're just going through his stash of junk to be creative with. Hey, let's bring that old battery to life. Your poppet in the Gameplay Kits page contains a veritable history museum of creature pieces. All creatures have brains, even physical exercise teaching monkeys. There are 2 on offer, protected and unprotected. Choose unprotected. Should your creature run amok, you can dash its dashed brains out. Disgusting, but necessary. Select a suitable style of creature leg. Make that a wheel. And it needs eyes, maybe one either side, so it too can feast on the wonder of your other creations. Tweak the brain and set its intelligence. There are behaviours you can program in, such as follow, so it'll be affectionate, or flee, and ignore, so you can have some time away from it. There's a few tweaks on offer, so have a good old research fest, but you can always adapt and improve the little fellow at a later date. It's acting a bit suspicious. I'd keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Used words in a way that's amusing. Oh, don't be such a scaredy sack. It's only a mouse. OK, then, let's really give you something to be scared of with the danger tools. Open your poppet and select the tools bag. The electric tool will make an object crackle like it's got a zillion volts up it. Just tap the object to apply it, or use the action button. Makes your fur stand on end, doesn't it? If you think your creation is really hot stuff, then choose the fire tool. Blimey, I suppose that's one way to make a cheese toasty. Tap it again to remove the danger. Try the plasma and gas tools too. Completely blinking awesome, or what? If you want to remove all danger effects, use the unlethalize tool to return to normality. Best not get too carried away. Next thing we'll be running with scissors. Let's give a warm welcome to our fearless feathered friend, Senor Duck Danger. You may remember him from such films as Duck on Fire and Duck on Fire 2, Peking Duck. Firstly, Sackboy wants to show us something. Open your poppet and find Dangerous. A set of spikes has been selected, and Sackboy is hanging precariously over the business ends of them. He's absolutely fine, though, as you can't come a cropper when you're in create mode. OK, that was the aperitif. Now you want the main course. Senior Duck Dangerous, if you please, sir. Now, back in the Dangerous, an impact explosive will be set off by the slightest knock. Brace yourself, Duck Danger. Fire away, Sackboy! All in a day's work for a daredevil duck, isn't it? Duck Danger is now going to demonstrate the intrinsic worth of a trigger explosive. Use your poppet cursor to connect the button's output tab to the trigger explosive. All ready? Places, everyone. Good luck, Mr. Danger. Break a beak. Both pyrotechnically and audibly pleasing. I'd like to thank Duck Danger for being such a hero in the face of untold peril. Yep, he does take after me, doesn't he? The creative muse never leaves you alone up here. You see a blank space, you have to decorate it. While stickers are flat, decorations have a warm, fluffy three-dimensionality about them. Easy, Tiger. Open Poppet and tap the Stickers and Decorations icon. Find a decoration you love and which loves you back, and tap it to choose it. You can use buttons to manipulate decorations, and stickers too, for that matter. Move it around with the left stick until it's placed where you want. Use the right stick to make it bigger or smaller, and for rotating it left and right. Happy? Well then, place it, why don't you, with a deft whack on the action button. Come along, time and decorations wait for no man. Oh, that's not right. You fastened it too fast. Not to worry. Prepare the Sticker and Decoration Edit tool. To retrieve a decoration, hover over it and hit the action button. There, now it's yours to place again. That's more like it. You certainly have an eye for decoration. It's the left one, if I'm not mistaken. In LittleBigPlanet, it's up to you to decide what's fashionable without fear of people pointing at you and laughing. In fact, the more funny-looking you are, the better, really. Press the menu button to access your Poppet. Now sharpen your pointiest finger and tap the Customize Character icon. Drag the list up and down with your fingertip to browse this wardrobe of wonderment. Or for more carefree browsing, flick the page and press it again as soon as you want to stop. A deft flick across the page and you'll find yourself in an altogether new department. When you spot something that looks just right, simply tap it to wear it. Not right? Tap it again, and it's off and back on its hanger. So, you've settled on a look, then, have you? Finally. Once you feel ready to step out and meet your adoring public, just tap the back button to close Pop-It, and then once more to close the menu altogether. What an eclectic mix of styles, colours and textures. It's so you. Excuse me, sir. Would you like one of these samples? Or maybe 50 of them? Ah, emitters. They are a veritable horn of plenty, these things. Open your Pop-It and select the emitter from the Gadgets page of your tools bag. Tweak the emitter and select Choose Object. The Pick Emitted Object tool will select an object already in your scene, like that tomato, for instance. In fact, I do like tomatoes, so let's pick it. You can tweak how fast objects are created using the linear and angular velocity settings. Change frequency for how regularly you want them to be created. Set the lifetime to choose how long they exist before they fade away. Or shrink. Or explode, depending on the destroy effect you choose. What's that? You feel silly with all those tomatoes? They're going to call you funny names? Look, if you want, we can give you a smoke screen to get them home. Open your tools bag and select the smoke machine. Tweak the smoke machine to create more of an abundance of smoke. And also change the colour. OK, Sackboy, make good your escape now. Sackboy? Sackboy? And not a word of thanks. Typical. The gameplay sequencer is the very pinnacle of technological know-how, know-what and know-why on LittleBigPlanet. It will create the DNA for your most complex stories, levels and machinery. Here's one we built earlier, plucked from the advanced logic section of the tools bag. As the playhead moves, the gadgets are triggered in precise, ordered fashion. You can jump the playhead to where the cursor is by pressing the menu button. Let's place a gadget. How about the danger tweaker? Oh, and let's tweak it so it shoots sparks, just for jollies. Up and down on the right stick will set how long you want the gadget to be active for. You get the idea? We can also tweak the sequencer itself. You can set the speed it will play, and whether you want it to loop. You can start it playing with a trigger region, or by attaching a sensor to its input. Another nifty thing to use is a battery. Place one of these on the microchip and stretch it out with the right stick to determine how long it will power your electrical devices. Set the battery's strength When it's not fully charged, it will still run devices with scale inputs like speed scale or strength scale. Yeah, no more running down to the shop trying to remember the difference between double and triple A's. OK, Sackboy, let's see what Cheddar George can do. Perhaps the most wondrous thing I have ever seen. Sackboy, I think you're ready to become LittleBigPlanet's Imagineer-in-Chief. What will you create now, I wonder? Such is the life of an escapologist. You can't walk down the street without getting stuck in a cage. Sometimes you'll get stuck in LittleBigPlanet, but fear not, young sackling, for all is not lost. Open your Poppet by pressing the menu button and find the Try Again icon. Now press and hold your finger on it and keep holding until you go pop, and then magically reappear from the last activated checkpoint. Oh, you're not trying to recreate your summer holiday again, are you, Sackboy? It's over with. You're back home now. Mind you, if we faff with the global controls page of the Poppet, we can affect your entire scene and make it just like your holiday. Add a little sunlight. Change the world to classic monochrome. Or add some water for paddling. You can even change the scenery from the backgrounds page. How's that? In the Gadgets page are the World Tweakers, which let you fine-tune your scene while you play. The Global Lighting Tweaker, for example, allows you to alter the lighting. It was bright and sunny, right? You can trigger the World Tweakers with a sensor or set a trigger radius. If all this sun is drying your fabric, use the Global Water Tweaker to make floods and waves. The Global Audio Tweaker allows you to set the aural ambience. Ah, that's better. Now, is that bringing back all the memories from your summer holiday, Sackboy? Oh dear, our friend Ginge has had a bit of a tumble. Let's see if we can glue him back together. Open your Poppet with the Poppet button and select the Poppet cursor. Drag the two halves together with your fingers using the touch facility. Position them one at a time, ready to be glued. Now, push one against the other with the left stick and hold down the action button until the glue sets with a revolting sloop. You can stick anything together like this. Just make sure the pieces are touching or overlapping before you glue them. And these outlines show they're stuck together. You can glue objects on different layers, too. open your poppet and go to the Tools bag. Select the Advanced Glue tool from the Functions section. Choose exactly which objects you wish to stick together with the Action button, and they're instantly glued. If you prefer touch, simply tap them and presto. For me, I'm really trying to cut down on my carbs, but all right, then I'll take half. Press the Delete button once to detach just that bit. So tasty and gingery. You know, if you hold down the Delete button, the whole thing will vanish. Delicious. The Goodies bag. A treasure trove of goodies, gizmos and gadgets. Everything you collect in LittleBigPlanet is kept all shipshape and perfectly organized right here. Pop open your poppet and tap the Goodies bag icon. Inside, you'll find everything you've collected, won or been given. The objects that you've discovered during your travels head straight in to the Collected Objects page. So, if you suddenly desperately need that object you picked up a zillion levels ago, this should be your first and only port of call. When you find an object that tickles your fancy, select it with a firm tap on the touchscreen. When you find a proper location, simply drag it to place it in position. Not the right size? Put 2 fingers on the touchscreen, pinch in and out to resize it. And if you rotate your fingers around, the object will follow. Just like every object in LittleBigPlanet, you can mirror it by using the Flip button. You can move the object inwards and outwards by using the Layers menu. Hold down the L button to access it. Then simply drag the middle of the layer slider to move to your layer of choice. And hey presto, your object now resides in a new layer. Simple as that. A swift tap will place the object right in your scene. Oh yes, nice, right in front of that rusty eyesore. The knoll is translucent because you're stamping it. This means you can stamp one thing as many times as you like. When you're all done, simply tap the back button a few times to get out of Poppet. See, everything has a use in LittleBigPlanet, except maybe Susan, my cat. She is positively useless. I see your mail-order funny rabbit arrived. No instructions. Typical. Let's have a shufty in the tools bag and see if we can't put it together ourselves. We need some long joints, and let's start with string. Using the Action button, first attach one end of the string to his tufty bonce and the other end to that beam. You can tweak the length of the string, make it shorter. Good show. It's looking funny already. Next, let's attach his body with a spring. That'll be hilarious. Connect them as you did before. You can tweak the spring's strength and length to prevent over-wobblyization. Mind you, under-wobblyization might detract from the humour. How about attaching the legs with elastic? That'd be rip-ticklingly funny. OK, your funny bunny is assembled. Let's stand back and bask in its hilarity. It's not that funny, is it? Didn't I say you should buy that hysterical hamster or even the witty whale? They're far more highbrow. I'm very environmentally conscious, so I reuse all my tea bags with my automated tea bag dipper. It's certainly not because I'm lazy. Here we have a particularly underused tea bag that needs dunking into those cups. Let's get a winch. It's a motorized chain. Old Linky. Attach it like the other long joints. Chains don't stretch, but they can crumple, so bear this in mind. You can tweak the winch's length, but also its time. And pause. And we'll set these like so. Ah, it's tea for two today. A piston will help us do the double dunk. Attach it like before. We'll tweak the piston's time and pause, like this. And we're done. Next up, the self-stirring mug. Ha! What? Someone's already invented it? Oh, drat. Hello and welcome to Talking Cheese with your host, Sackboy. Today we're talking about Wensleydale. What's the problem? Yes, I got the brief. Talking cheese and... Oh, you want the cheese to talk? Oh, I get you. Well, magic mouths are excellent for having a good old natter with your creations. Shooting the breeze, as it were, breeze. Brie is a type of cheese. Oh, never mind. You'll need to tweak a magic mouth to put words in it. Don't worry, this is standard etiquette on LittleBigPlanet. Choose your words carefully. I mean, carefully. And keep it clean. Sweary Marys and rude Rogers need not apply. You can choose to show the text in either a speech bubble or a subtitle. The speech options allow you to choose what manner of noises will emanate from your magic mouth. You can even record your own voices and put those into the scene. But I'm a gibberish kind of person, so let's choose that. And if there's a lot going on in your scene, you can lower all the background noise with the ducker option so your creation is more audible to the naked ear. Hear that? Excellent. Let's call him Cheddar George. Magic mouths love the limelight. That's why they come with their own cameras. Go on, have a tinker. And see if you can't find the perfect zoom and angle to show off our guest's mouldiest side. Hey, you should make Cheddar George your co-host. He could make really cheesy cheese puns, and you can say, "You're really grating on me. I can't bear it any longer." It'd be cheesy gold. Please yourself. I know several TV companies that would buy it. You can really let rip with your imagination when you start creating levels. There's just one rule. There are no rules. But there's a couple of rules you need to follow first. Find the Gameplay Kits page in the Tools bag. Every level needs an entrance. You know, before they invented entrances, there were only exits, so you could never arrive, just leave. Oh, that was a very difficult time. If someone comes a cropper on your level, we recommend adding a checkpoint. The recently, how can we put it delicately, livingly challenged will be reincarnated there. There's 3 kinds of checkpoints: a standard checkpoint, a double checkpoint, which doubles the amount of times you're revived, and the infinite checkpoint suits particularly fiendish levels or particularly clumsy players. Checkpoints are usually activated when you run past them, but you can also activate them with a button. Sensational! Reward your visitors' efforts with a scoreboard when they finish your level. And they will reward you with smugness, gloating, and by going, "Na, na, 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 na." Now here's a thing. You can tweak the scoreboard. Get your poppet cursor, tap the scoreboard, and then tap the tweak button. The tweak menu lets you choose the victor's spoils, even if he's not called Victor. How about Frank? Everyone needs Frank. Now, when you're fishing for compliments about how fab and groovy your levels are, visitors have no excuse not to be wowed. If you want to jump directly into another level, use a level link. This is good for visitors with short attention spans. Tweak the level link to choose a level. It can be one of yours or someone else's entirely, but it must already be published. Yeah, that one looks good. Creating and sharing, the 2 things we do best up here in the Imagisphere. That's why you fit in so snugly as a little big Planetian. You're a creator and a sharer, and you make Little Big Planet our happy place. The prime directive of Little Big Planet is and always will be fun and sharing, but especially sharing. You share things through the medium of bubbles. Seek out the Points and Prizes section in the Tools bag. You'll notice there are two types of bubble. One is the score bubble, which contains points for your guests. Prize bubbles are great for spreading goodwill too. Every day's a birthday up here. Place a prize bubble, but this time tap the tweak button and, lo and behold, the tweak menu appears, auto-magically. Use the tweak menu to stick a gift inside the prize bubble. And not only with jumpers that you got for your birthday. Why not share the things that you've made, like your Sackenstein's monster, for example? You can choose whether players can share Frank with other fortunate souls, or make him private and they keep him to themselves. This keeps it unique, like a designer cravat or a bright red nostril hair that I once found. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud? I'm so sorry. Things you share in prize bubbles go straight into other people's Community Objects page. The more we share our imagination, the stronger the Imagisphere becomes. Gosh, we should really have a group hug right now. The sack race. Invented by the ancient Greeks, you know. Of course, their sacks were made of marble. Never finished a race, poor blighters. Go to the Tools bag and find the Points and Prizes section. A start gate marks the beginning of a race. Tap the tweak button to tweak it. You'll see you can now set a time limit for the event. Place an end gate to show your fellow racers when to apply that last 30-second sprint before collapsing and wheezing things like, "Never again," and "It's all in a good cause." You could install a close-level post near the start of your proposed race. This is to ensure fair play, so no other sack chaps or chapesses can join once a race has commenced. I was at the running track last week. Blood pumping, brows sweating, lungs heaving. The mustard at that hot dog stand is really something. I am keeping them closed, Sackboy. What is this birthday surprise you have for me, anyway? I can open them now. Oh, good. A present! And that looks like a microchip. Let's open it. The R button will expand it. Whoa! You can fit tons of electronics on a microchip, perfect if you run out of space on the gift box, and they still work exactly as if you stuck them on the box directly. Ah, clean and uncluttered. Blissful. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can select the circuit board and resize it with the right stick and move it about with the left stick. But wait, there's more. It's a note. Another swift press of R button to expand that and... Oh, that's lovely. An emoticon is worth 1,000 words. Well, maybe 3 or 4. Use notes to leave handy reminders to yourself or others about gadgets, contraptions, or some of the super clever clogs logic you've created. Or maybe just remind yourself where you left your house keys. They are your notes, after all, so use them as you will. So, this is your new blockbuster vampire moo cow from Saturn. And your moo cow is proving uncooperative? Here's a hint from a pro. The best way to direct a difficult actor is with the amazing motion recorder. In your tools bag, in the movers section, you'll find a motion recorder. Attach it to your reluctant ruminant and open up its tweak menu. Now choose Record. Drag her around with your dexterous digit and all her movements will be recorded. And remember, use a second finger to rotate her. Simply release touch to finish recording. Your tweak options set how it will replay the action, as a loop or perhaps back and forth. You can also speed it up so it can keep up with your super smart grey mash. What a performance! She's really chewing the scenery. No, I mean, look, she is. That's not real grass, is it? She's going to have quadruple tummy ache later. Sackboys pioneering the new musical genre of shampoo moco. Apparently, it mainly involves singing in the shower. OK, let's lay down some tracks. You can get a music sequencer from the music page. The R button will open or close its circuit board. It's here you place instruments to build your fab and groovy gramophone tunes. You really have to tweak, fiddle and faff with the instruments to get your own sounds. Seriously, this is how I created off-key white noise yelling. All the kids are into it now. Press the menu button to open an instrument. Each instrument plays according to a pattern. Move the cursor around the pattern with the left stick and place down new notes with the Action button. The R and L buttons lengthen or shorten your notes. Up and down on the right stick will change the volume of the note. Left and right will change its timbre, the quality and uniqueness of the instrument. It's not as complex as it sounds, and if you mess up, undo and redo with the left and right buttons. The up button will pause and play, letting you preview your musical mayhem. Once completed, you can tweak the instrument by pressing the menu button, as there may be further adjustments to key and scale you'd like to include. If your composition's becoming a magnum opus, which is Latin for a big deal, you can use the rear touchpad to pan along your sequence like so. When you're done, rearrange your instruments on the music sequencer's circuit board in any order you choose. So, can we hear what you've been composing? Take it away. No, seriously. Take it away. As far as possible. Yikes. You going to drag that knucklehead around with you all day? You could always put him in your goodies bag. In your poppet, open the My Objects page and select the Capture Object tool. All you do is select your object to add it to your inventory. Simple as 1, 2, tap. Remember that handy lasso select we used in a previous lesson? Well, we're going to make use of it again here. Choose the Capture Object tool once more, and this time draw a loop around Frank. And there he goes into your goodies bag, ready to be taken out and played with whenever you want. The goodies bag. Never leave home without it. Or rather, always leave home with it. Yes, that makes more sense. Oh, before you go, check out the full screen poppet. Tap the Expand Poppet button to activate it, and there you go. It's just like Poppet, but even more so. A bit full on? Tap it again, and the classic floaty Poppet will return before you can say, there, like nothing ever happened. Sackboy, you are not being the stunt person to demonstrate danger tweakers. Mr. Danger has come all the way from Duckywood, so let's leave it to a professional, okay? Firstly, open up your Gadgets page and choose the Danger Tweaker. Yes, we know it's not in your contract, Mr. Danger, but we know you'll do us this favour. Best attach a button, just to be on the safe side. You can tweak it to choose how it affects its subject, turning it into fire, electric, or plasma. Don't worry about him. People like Duck Danger eat peril for breakfast. I had a peril omelette once. It gave me chronic heartburn. Now let's try a destroyer. Tough-sounding name, but let me assure you, it lives up to and beyond it. Tweaking a destroyer allows you to choose the destroy effect. If you want to destroy all the objects it's glued to, select Include Rigid Connections. Just place that destroyer on Duck Danger and stand well back. Not that it's dangerous or anything, Mr. Danger. Well, maybe just a smidge. Finally, connect that button to the destroyer. Hold still, Mr. Danger. Yes, I might need to have a brief word with my agent. Listen, Sackboy. Duck Danger's last film, Webbed Feet of Steel, was a disaster. A lame duck. He's really down about it. We need to cheer him up and get him back into the public eye with an amazing stunt. And I'm going to duck on l'orange it. You in? Duck Danger? Hi! Went to see your last film. I was literally glued to my seat, sat on a huge blob of chewing gum. Hey, we're just about to talk about the material tweaker. Want to help? Of course you do. Sackboy, fetch one from the Gadgets page. Oh, it's nothing to worry about, Duck, really. Well, we aren't worried. You can tweak the physical properties of your objects. Duck feathers aren't renowned for their bounce, but if we tweak them like so, we can make them more rubbery than an eraser in a hot pencil case. Oh, hush, Duck. We're just having a bit of fun. Now, sometimes you might want your object to become, I don't know, sticky. You alter the material tweaker and set it to sticky. Let's test it with a hailstorm of popcorn. Told you it'd come to a sticky end. However, to lighten this atmosphere between us, we'll fit him with an anti-gravity tweaker from the Object Tweakers section. Let's make Duck Danger so light on his webbed feet, he'll make a ballet dancer with helium Wellingtons look earthbound. Up you go. There is also a setting for controlling how quickly your object slows down, which we didn't use. How's about that, Sackboy? We lifted a major movie star's spirits. Literally. Only your closest friends will tell you you have your bowler hat inside out. Similarly, up here, only a true friend will tell you when your scene is overcrowded, and the tall fellow in the tube on the left is that friend. He's a measuring stick for productivity. He gets taller the more you build. But when he's getting too big for his tube, it's a sign you're running out of space too. You're going to need a few tricks to optimize your scene. Fortunately for you, we have lots. Sometimes you can save space in your scene by not having overcomplicated shapes in it. This means fewer vertices. You know, the dots you see when using the corner editor. Dashed useful they are, but somewhat elaborate if you're short on space. Perfect circles are the exception that proves the rule because they have no corners. But if you edit them, whoops, you'll have dots before your eyes once more. Thinking big has got me into trouble a few times, so I taught myself to think smaller but more often. If you've built a mega-ginormous ultra shape, cut it up into several smaller ones. Now that's much more manageable. Even better, get rid of those bits which are off-screen and players will never see. You can tweak objects to make them static. Static objects keep themselves to themselves and don't interact with things around them. Some objects don't depend on connections with other things. You can turn these into non-solid with the dephysicalize tool. Be still, my moving parts, at least when I'm not around. Place an anti-gravity tweaker and set the dampening to 100%. Then connect up a player sensor and invert its output. Now those moving bits will be frozen when nobody's about. But walk nearer and they become active again. Ooh, stickers, stickers, stickers. The 3 S's. We all love stickers, but laying them 30 deep makes everything get gummed up. Using 1 or 2 will keep the neighbourhood bright and tidy. Some things might look impressive, but they also make the thermometer level rise. You might need to cull a few sticker panels, smoke machines, holograms, and keep those atmospheric effects to a minimum. It's just an idea. Cruel to be kind and all that. When it comes to lighting, surfaces on LittleBigPlanet will only reflect 2 lights at the same time. More than that will be ignored, or might even start conflicting, and we don't want that. This is mood lighting, not walking off in a huff lighting. It's fab filling the Imagisphere with your own funky ditties using a music sequencer, but sometimes you just want to hear an old classic with a music object. What's more, it lets our friend in the thermometer kick back and relax a bit too. He especially likes the non-interactive tunes. Here's another energy-saving tip from the Department of the Patently Obvious. With less stuff visible on screen, the smoother and groovier your scene will run. This applies to cameras, too. Zoom them in for added drama and impactfulnicity. That's not a word, but that's okay. We're all friends here. When it comes to levels, less is more. Something of a mathematical anomaly, but it's true. If you have lots of things going on in your scene, why not split it into 2 levels? Less clutter, more levels. Everyone's a winner. Like any city, it's a good idea to distribute your Sackbot population if you want to avoid overcrowding. It eases congestion of the Imagisphere, and you avoid saying, "Excuse me," every 5 seconds. Sackbots are intelligent beings, so don't just let them wander aimlessly. Give them something to do. Use logic and behaviours to give them specific tasks. If you record a Sackbot animation, then it will carry on to its heart's content and won't expend any valuable brain power on the task. I hope you're not one of these people who leaves the telly on when you leave the room, because the Imagosphere doesn't appreciate that sort of behaviour. If you have some complex logic beeping and booping when you don't need it, turn it off. Wireless logic seems like a great gimmick, and indeed it is. Tag sensor and the like. But if you need extra space in your gorgeously complicated scene, then we recommend good old-fashioned wires. Oh, go on, show them off. They work hard and deserve a bit of recognition. We've learnt so much, you and I, but the Imagosphere always has more to teach. Open your mind and let your imagination run free. Make something wonderfully amazing. Oh, my word! You've made a Sackenstein's monster! That is frighteningly small. Let's bulk him up a bit. You know, while touch is fancy, those buttons you have there could also be used for a lot of things in Create mode. Let's give 'em a go. Open your Poppet with the Menu button and select the Poppet cursor with the Action button. Move the cursor with the left stick. Yes, like that. Put it over your creation and press the Action button. Now you can move him around with the left stick. On the right stick, pressing left or right, we'll spin him around. And of course, up or down will make him larger or smaller. I'd debiggerize in case he goes rogue. You can move him back and forth between layers. Hold the L button and drag the middle of the layer slider to bring him forward a layer. You can also hold the L button and use the left stick to move him in and out. Now, you might want to make him Chunkenstein's monster. Hold the L button and tap the dotted line above the layer slider to make him fatter. Dragging the bottom edge of the layer slider upwards will make him thinner. OK, now set him loose in the world. Press the Action button to release him. Press back to return to the main menu, and notice how Frank stays exactly where he is. Gravity doesn't come back into play until you fully close your Poppet. Not satisfied with power over life itself? You can control time, too. Press the left button to go back and undo your actions. As you might expect, pressing the right button will redo it. Notice that time has been frozen. The up button pauses the temporal continuum. Temporarily, mind you. Pressing up once more will cause our continuum to continue on. I think this experiment's gone far enough. I'm afraid it's time to delete our unusual friend. Get your Poppet cursor, tap Frank to select him. Press delete when you're ready. Frank has returned from whence he came. Yes, whence. I think it's somewhere near Plymouth. Sergeant Sackhop is a fiend for push-ups, pull-ups, and indeed, power-ups. Power-ups are located in the Gameplay Kits page. Have a go with the grappling hook. It's the bee's pivotal leg joints. You can tweak a power-up so it can't be dropped. The military doesn't stand for dropouts. Avail yourself of any power-up by walking through it. Then press and hold the grab button to fire the grappling hook, and it'll find its target. You don't need to be bitten by some poorly arachnid to sway about like the spidery dude here. Oh, no. Use the left stick to swing left and right, while up and down shortens and lengthens the wire. When you've passed your obstacle, just let go of the grab button. Marvellous! It's the only way to travel these days. And here's something else that'll grab you. The Grabinators. These are Goliath's gloves, mittens of muscle. Use the grab button and let's show Sergeant Sackhop how sack people lift weights. And heave! Flinging is done by moving, then releasing the grab button. Whoa! He really flew. However, this is all rather undisciplined behaviour. A remove power-up device strips the power-ups from any sackboy who activates it. Always use power-ups for good, young sackling. Unless you want to do wicked things, then go for it. I mean, who's going to argue? My, how will you stitch yourself out of this peculiar situation? It would be fab if we could push those blocks out somehow. Luckily, you can use the rear touchpad of your system too. Whenever you're using the rear touchpad, a handy marker will appear to show you exactly where your delectable digit is destined. Simply drag your finger along the rear touchpad to make each block pop out of its socket. There you go. You've just created the perfect stepping stone. And if you change your mind, you can tap your touchscreen to push it right back in its proper place. Watch how they change their appearance as you push them back and forth, too. This will tell you when to switch between using the touchscreen and the rear touchpad. Helpful little souls, aren't they? Sackboy, I've just heard you've won a competition. Oh, my! I'm guessing by the suitcases it was a dream holiday for two. Yes, of course I'll accompany you, but we'll need to leave your level in good hands. Quick, let's make a Sackbot caretaker. Open your tools bag and seek out the Sackbots section. That's it. Amazing things, Sackbots, as long as you know how to program them. We'll make this one a very competent, skillful Sandy Sackbot. We can also set her animation style if we want to, so she can move in an amusing manner to entertain visitors while we're away. There's several built-in behaviours to choose from, too. There's follow, so she follows you wherever you go. Well, that's no good, as we need her here. Maybe flee, so she runs away from you. Anyway, tweak her awareness radius too. This affects how closely she can detect players in your scene. The afraid of height setting will stop her falling off high ledges and the like. Best keep her safe, eh? Choose afraid of danger, too, so she stays away from hazards and mildly perilous stuff. And if we enhance her with the gift of jump and changed layer, she'll be able to get about pretty much everywhere else. Ooh, those power-ups might be good for her too. And if you can think of anything useful for the Creatinator, Grabinator, and Controlinator options, give them a blast too. This is great, isn't it? Where are we going to go, by the way? You know, the holiday. You won a competition, hence the suitcases. Oh, the suitcases were the prize. No holiday, then. Well, they're nice suitcases, mind. I'm having those. All Sackbots have strict behaviour guidelines. It's not me, Gov. It's the law. If you want to sleep safely in your bed, set him up as a security guard with patrol behaviour. With the ACT behaviour, you can record your own movements directly into your Sackbot's grey matter. You only have to do something embarrassing once, but your Sackbot stooge will have to do it as often as you want him to. Play once makes him do it just the once. But you can also loop him. Loop relative makes him do it wherever he's standing. But loop absolute will return him to his exact starting point each time his embarrassment ends. Sackbots also have their own microchip. Select Show Circuit Board or press the R button to reveal it. Why not place behaviours straight onto his microchip? Good deeds, ill will, indifferent acts of blasé thoughtlessness, whatever you think of. Trigger them with sensors, but remember, it's the most recently activated behaviour that controls him. So, if you set him to hostile, he may very well come after you. Oh, I don't know about hostile. Seems rather over-friendly to me. Better not put a danger tweaker on that microchip. I'd show him some respect if I were you. Give him a voice. Yes, Put a magic mouth on his microchip. Then set the actor name of the magic mouth to something urbane and witty. Now he's friendly and chatty. He's the ideal chum. Wouldn't you agree, Sackboy? So you want to make Cheddar George audibly pleasing, do you? You think he's going to be the next big singing sensation, eh? OK, I'll buy that. Find the music objects in your tools bag. Tweaking is essential. Get the volume just right. You don't want to burst eardrums now, do you? You can also change the start point to go directly to the bit you like best. Intros can be tedious, can't they? You can control the individual track volumes of your tunes and remix to your heart's content. Now, how about some sound effects for Cheddar George? There's some ear-pleasing lovelies in the Sound Objects page. Let's select Epic Horn. Oh, very good. Now he sounds like a cheese that doesn't agree with you. The modifier can change any of the sounds in amazing ways. You could spend all day playing with them. You can set off the sounds with a trigger radius or connect a sensor to the sound object so it plays when you want it to. Cheddar George might be a bit mature to be a pop star. Sackboy's always breaking the speed limit when he's riding his sports car. Let's keep tabs on him with a speed sensor. In the tools bag, under Sensors, seek out the speed sensor. We'll set the maximum speed to the LittleBigPlanet speed limit. Anything over this will trigger the sensor. A speed sensor will also detect which direction it's moving, left, right, up, down. If he's showing off in an elevator, we'll know about it. For now, left, right only will do the job. Let's demonstrate it. Attach the speed sensor to the direction splitter. Connect each output to a different light. Positive for the front light, negative for the rear light. Notice how fast he's going determines how bright the light is. You see, the lights are set to dimmer, and they get a percentage of the speed sensor's output signal. Oh, that little speed monster. You're Sackboy, not Speed Boy. Sackboy is such a quiet and self-effacing character. You'd hardly know he was there. Perhaps we need some kind of floating indicator. We'll use a sticker panel. Sticker panel is a kind of craft material, so it will be in your goodies bag. That's good. See how it floats in mid-air? The sticker panel ignores gravity. It's almost like magic. Now we need a sticker. How about that one? That really gets my attention. Tweaking the sticker panel affects how stickers which are stuck on the panel will appear. For example, change the colour. Let's go for something like that. Now, here's the really great thing about sticker panels. Attach a button and you can make your stickers turn on and off. Lower the opacity to make the stickers see-through. Who's a clever creator? Yes, you! Yes, you! Yeah, well, all right, we get the idea. With so many stickers to collect in LittleBigPlanet, it almost feels wasteful to leave a space without stickers. Press the menu button to open your Poppet and tap the Stickers and Decorations icon. Use your finger to drag the page up and down, and remember, flicking gets you there even faster. Pick your favourite with a decisive tap. Move it around by holding your finger on the touchscreen and then drag it to wherever your stickering sense leads. Not the right size? Put 2 fingers on the touchscreen. Then pinch in for tiny and petite. Or pinch out for big and bombastic. And if you rotate your fingers around, the sticker will follow. Touch and hold the flip button, then slide your finger in the direction that you want to mirror the sticker. A swift tap on the screen, and you will put it in its rightful place. If you're feeling nimble-fingered, why not tap a few more down? Go sticker mad! Use the back button to go back and pick another stupendous sticker. When you're all stickered out, simply keep tapping back until you've closed the Poppet for good. I've a feeling I'm witnessing the birth of a sticker renaissance. You won't give up with that funny bunny, will you? Some things are funnier when used sparingly. You know, only when you need them. Open your Poppet and go to the Tools bag. There's a button in the Gameplay Kits page. That's it. Place it on the ground near Mildly Amusing Bunny. Now, with the cursor, grab the Button's Output tab. You drag these tabs to wire up all electrical gadgets on LittleBigPlanet. Connect it to the motor bolt. Now it's wired up, Bunny's face will only spin when the button is pressed. See, now that's funny. Funnier, at least. Well, funny-ish. Let's go back to your tools bag. Right, what else? Grab sensors. They're useful. You activate these by grabbing the thing they're stuck onto. So let's connect our grab sensor to that motor bolt. Wouldn't you know, it works! two-way and three-way switches are available as well. The two-way is your basic on-off switch. The three-way, however, can be pulled either forwards or backwards, and you can decide how far you want to pull it. Here's how. When you attach a switch, you can change how it controls the motor bolt. Tweak the motor bolt and look at the input action. On-off just turns on the motor in the direction you set. With forwards-backwards, the motor turns a different direction depending on which way you pull the switch. Single cycle turns it all the way round once, then stops, even if you let go halfway. Finally, speed scale makes the motor turn faster the further you pull the switch. It's a treasure trove of gem-like possibilities. Try them all. By the way, did you know you can pause these videos whenever you like via the Start menu? Not that you ever would. I mean, what could be more important than listening to me? I ask you. I said what... Oh. Sackboy's about to take his souffle out of the oven, but the last one didn't come out so well. So this time he's sending in a Sackbot, or rather, you are. That's right. Using a touch cursor, you can make a Sackbot follow your finger anywhere in your scene. First of all, a touch cursor only works when it's placed on a Controlinator, like this one. Now, get a touch cursor. You can find one under Advanced Logic in your tools bag. Place it on the Controlinator circuit board, like so. Get on board that Controlinator. But, now here's a quality tip, you could tweak it to be a receiver controlled by the player. Then Sackboy doesn't need to get into it. Now, open your touch cursor and let's tag it. Get a tag from your tools bag. A green one will be perfect. That's the style. Tweak the touch cursor and you'll see there's oodles of options. You can choose which touch interface to use, touch screen, rear touch pad, one or the other, you decide. Have a faff on with it. Now, we want this Sackbot to heed the lure of the touch cursor. Tweak the Sackbot and set it to follow waypoint, in particular, green ones. That's it. OK, onto the breach, dear Sackbot. Well, onto the kitchen. First, the cursor triggers the kitchen door. Then our trusty Sackbot bounces upwards. And finally, to the souffle. Oh, my. Well, it's cheese and crackers again, then. You'll find many touchable things like this on your travels, and they have quite a distinct appearance too, so you'll know them when you see them. Using the miracle of touch, you can reach in and rearrange the world to your liking. Simply touch the thing that you want to move. Drag it to a place of your liking, and lo and behold, you've built yourself a simple stair. Amazing, isn't it? Since Sack people's prehistoric ancestors left the oceans, modern Sacco-sapiens had to invent flippers and bubble machines. They're in your tools bag under Emitters. A bellyful of bubbles gives Sackboy another 30 seconds of breathing time. If 30 seconds aren't enough and genetically engineered gills just aren't your style, you might try scuba gear. They're also in your tools bag under Powerups. With scuba gear, you can swim as long as you want. But not too long or your fabric will go wrinkly.